So, just to be clear, I'm a red wine drinker.
That's fine.
Okay, cool. But, I only drink red wine.
Okay.
And up until last night, I was under the impression that you too only drank red wine. But I guess I was wrong.
I see where you're going with this. I do drink red wine. But I also drink white wine. And I've been known to sample the occasional rosé. And a couple summers back, I tried a Merlot that used to be a Chardonnay, which got a bit complicated.
Okay, yeah, so you're just really open to all wines.
I like the wine and not the label. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Cinema Society Saturday. And I'm Gus from Askewed Reviews. Now, if you don't know what Cinema Society Saturday is, this is where a group of us content creators have all come together, and then as a group, we are randomly given a theme. We then each give our partner a movie that fits within that theme, and then we review all of those films for all of you. So if you couldn't tell from the intro I chose, today's theme is Pride Month, or LGBTQ representation. So all of the movie suggestions we gave to each other either had to be films that in the movie itself has some sort of representation towards that, or the director, the cast, the crew themselves actually have representation. And for this week, my partner was Lilllith the Librarian. If you're not already following her, definitely go and do so. She's an absolutely wonderful person and one of the very few people from Cinema Society Saturday that I've met in person. Now for this week's theme, Lily gave me the film of Bit, the 2019 movie that is directed and written by Brad Michael Elmore. Now if you've never heard of this movie before, don't worry, you weren't alone. I had never heard of it until I watched it for this week. But let me tell you a little bit more about it to see if this is something that you do want to check out for yourselves. So in the film, we meet our main character of Laurel. Now, she grew up as a trans woman, and this was definitely not easy going for her. She went through a lot, but is finally seemingly out on the other side of it. She's also decided that it's time to get a new perspective on things. Now, her brother Mark lives in Los Angeles, so she's decided that for the time being, she's going to move out there, live with him for a bit, see how everything goes, and maybe move there permanently. During Laurel's first night out there, Mark takes her to a club, and while she's there, she gets some odd looks from across the room from a few different people. One girl that appears to have resting bitch face, another girl that seems to be giving her bedroom eyes, and an older man that definitely is giving off the creepy factor. Now, luckily for her, the one that she does get to interact with is Izzy, the one that was giving her the bedroom eyes. And she soon discovers that Izzy is actually friends with that girl that didn't look so friendly, that is apparently called Duke. But the two of them also have two other friends named Roya and Frog. That's right, Frog. Now, Laurel is able to tell that there's something a little bit off with this group, but they invite her to come and hang out for the evening. So she does so and ditches her brother. Eventually that evening, Laurel does get some alone time with Izzy. However, Izzy's plans weren't the best intentions, as all of a sudden, she sinks her teeth into Laurel's neck and starts draining her of all of her blood. As we soon discover that this group of women are all vampires, and now they want Laurel to become one too. Now, with Laurel being a potential new member to the Bite Club, there are a few rules that she has to follow. The first being you do not glamour your fellow vampires. The second, if you bite someone, you have to be willing to end them because no one gets to become a vampire unless Duke says so. And the third and most important rule, you do not turn boys into vampires. So will Laurel be able to accept her new life? Will she be able to follow the rules? And most importantly, will she be able to trust these new friends? Well, the answers to these questions can only be found by watching Bit for yourself. Now, as for what my opinion was on this film, I think the first thing I have to mention is it did feel very CW, which, by the way, can be a good or a bad thing. There are some shows that I loved on the CW, and there's also some ones that weren't very good. And this kind of leans closer to that second category. I didn't so much have a big issue with the characters or the concept. It was more the story. Well, kind of lack of story. It really didn't feel like much was accomplished by the end of the film. And at times where we felt that there was going to be maybe some more interesting stuff to learn about a character or some more character development, it really just felt like it got dropped at times and never came back to that. I do think there were some good points though, like for instance, the background of Duke, I think was absolutely fascinating, but the way that she portrayed the character wasn't, I don't know, just wasn't a character that I had any interest in getting to know more. All in all, though, I don't think that it's a bad movie. It just didn't click with me. So, for those reasons, at least on my scale, I'm going to give this movie a 2 out of 5. It might have been close to being a 3, but it's definitely a 2. Now, if you've seen this one before, please let me know what you thought about it in the comments. And if you'd like to check it out for yourselves, which I always recommend with any movie, it is currently streaming for free on Prime. Now, once more, I am going to say, please go and follow my partner, Lilith. She has some really fun videos to watch, and she's just a great person in general. And one additional reason is so you can check out the movie that I gave her to review. The 2011 film Chillerama. This is an anthology film, and the reason I chose it for today's theme is specifically because of the Werebear segment. I hope you enjoyed my review for Bit. If you'd like to see what everyone else in the group did for their movies related to Pride Month, go ahead and look up the hashtag Cinema Society Saturday.